Thank you for joining me for coffee. I forgot to do a little video of my gizmo. If it's in this vlog, it's because I did it after. It is cloudy and close. It's going to rain later today, Dennis says. We're going to have rain tonight and tomorrow probably. But then it's supposed to be, you know, crisp fall weather. Get to the low 70s during the day, but you know, the mornings will be crispy. Maybe I'll be wearing sweaters in the morning on my vlogs when I sit out here. That'd be nice. Oh, I'm wearing a sweater. But I can't remember the name of this sweater. I keep thinking it's the Navalny. It's the one, Caitlin Hunter, I think. But isn't Navalny the name of the Russian guy? So this isn't the Navalny. But I forget what it was called. I guess I could look it up since this is not live. So the deal with the not live is that Dennis did diagnostics last night, rebooted a few things, took a few things down and brought them back up. And he determined that the people who were down at the end of our driveway the other day working on our power pole with all the lines on it did something. That's his conclusion. So he's going to be in contact with Verizon, and that means that our internet is not going to improve very much now, to be honest with you, except for my live videos and the Zoom meeting where I kept stopping every once in a while. I don't even notice it. So I don't notice it when I'm playing YouTube videos on my TV, but Dennis notices it. He's playing an online game and he can tell that he's laggy and stuff like that. So that'll be enough push for him to see if he can get it fixed. But meanwhile, the editing is not that onerous, and I don't mean to make it sound like it's a big deal. So I kind of do like the quickness of the live, and I like that people can say hi and I can wave, and you know, but it's not a big deal. Seriously. So what else was I going to tell you? I am feeling somewhat better, although I'm not sure about that. I want to tell you that I'm feeling better. And I did some things to make myself feel better. So I think I feel better. The reason I'm not sure is that I literally did not get out of my bed till 10:30 this morning. I was awake at 9:30. Dennis is like, when's my tea coming? When's my tea getting here? That's a joke between the two of us. It's not a rude comment. And I'm like, nope. I'm like, I gotta take a shower. So he got his own tea. And I stayed in bed till 10:30. So staying in bed till 10:30. I went to bed at midnight, 12:30. And I slept okay. And it, you know, really pretty well for me. And I was awake at 9:30, but I did not want to get out of bed. There's something about, you know, and it's funny because when I'm sitting there, I was reading last night, I was sitting there, I didn't want to go to bed. I didn't want to go to bed, and then once I'm in bed, I don't want to get up. So that's probably some form of, you know, the blues. I hate to call it depression, because depression is a real clinical thing. That's a serious issue that, you know, many people suffer with. What I have is the blues. You know, it's the blues. It's not really the same as depression. Although I think we call things that aren't depression all the time. So, you know what I mean. I'm not clinically depressed. Clinically depressed and depressed are different, I think. Anyway. But I think I feel better, even though the evidence of my getting up at 10:30 belies that. Because yesterday, after talking to you, and it really did help to talk to you, and I do appreciate your warm feelings and good advice. You know, just saying it out loud and reminding myself that Dennis said, you need to do something about that. And, you know, whichever side of the dial you need to turn to make yourself happy. Either do something so that you don't feel like you should be doing something and are unhappy, or get rid of that notion you need to do something and just be happy being there, watching TV. That's what he meant. And I agree with that, you know. And me saying it to you yesterday made me, you know, just sort of brought it back in my mind that, you know, I do have some control over this. I do have control over this. Not complete control, but some control. So I cleaned the house a little bit yesterday. I swept and I, you know, straightened up and whatever. And Dennis vacuumed the living room. And that always makes a difference because I start, you know, I like a clean house, but I do not like to clean it. And I don't clean it. And Dennis is fine with it. So, but at some point, it starts to bug me enough that I need to do something about it. And I did yesterday. And he vacuumed for me, which was really sweet. And so that felt a lot better. But the big thing that I did yesterday, I hope you're sitting down with your coffee when you listen to me say this. I cleaned out the car. I cleaned out the car. And it looks so nice. Except the carpeting, the floors are so stained and filthy. I think every cup of coffee in America got dropped in my car. So I have to get some... I think they have actual, you know, car carpet cleaning things with a special head that makes it easy to get in and out of things. And maybe after it dries, you just vacuum it up real quick and something like that. Anyway, I got to clean the carpet in the car, which I have not done. And this whole project started 2 months ago when Jason and Allison were here for a week and used the other car, and we ran both cars through a car wash and then cleaned out the car we were giving to them. So it's been 2 months since the car was washed. Now, since it was 5 years the time before that, it seems a little premature to wash it again. But the inside's all clean now. I'm like, wait a minute, but the outside's not clean. Oh well. It's not that dirty. It's not like we drive in mud or anything. So anyway, I cleaned out the car, and that feels really good. You know, maybe I should go somewhere today. I didn't drive it after I cleaned it. Dennis put it back in the garage. Maybe I'll do something. Maybe we need to take Aura something. I need to go drive in my car. That'll make me feel better. Except it's not a lovely day. Anyway, and I think that helped. So, you know, I finished cleaning out the car, walked the dogs, fed the dogs, got ourselves some dinner. And I was tired. In fact, my knee hurt a little bit last night. So that makes sense because I was, you know, in and out odd, you know, trying to vacuum and stuff. So, I mean, the vacuum isn't heavy. It was the shop vac. It was a big hose, but still. So, well, I don't have to worry about doing that every couple weeks like the vacuuming. And couple weeks is, you know, a stretch. But I said, well, this is good enough, and this is you know, when we do this again next year, maybe we'll make more progress. There were a few places where I had trouble getting it very clean. Oh my gosh, and behind the handle when you pull the door closed in the front seat, oh, don't. As I was cleaning it, I was like, this is why they make black interiors, so you don't know. Of course, like I said, it had been a long time. So anyway, that made me feel better. Your comments made me feel better. Thank you so much for your encouragement. And so I watched a little TV. I did a little more on my boxy. I read the directions for the back, and the back is a little taller than the front, so I did some more sections. I still didn't put the stitch markers in, but I did do a few more rows, and it is ready for the stitch markers now. So I will do that today. Reorient myself to the pattern to how to do the shoulders, and I'll do that. And as I confessed, it hasn't been entirely a no-buy year. I did order some used art type books, and one came today, and I was going to tell you who it's by. Charles Reed, I think. Charles Reed, R-E-I-D, Charles Reed, who is a watercolorist who does urban sketching kind of watercolors. And I could go grab that book and show you what I'm talking about, since I'm not live. So this is the book I got. Charles Reed's Watercolor Secrets. An intimate look at the discoveries from a lifetime of painting. So apparently this is, he's done a couple of other books. I do not have them. This is a look at one of his sketchbooks. And you can see this is not spiral bound. So that's his notebook. His sketchbook is spiral bound. Crazy, right? But I love this way of painting the architecture. But the thing that I love the most about this, and it's funny because I can't find the picture. I tried to show Dennis and I couldn't find the picture that was it must have been in another book, I'm not sure. But anyway, I love the idea of the colors, and one of the things that he does is, and other people have said this too, is to not mix the color, to mix most of the colors on the painting rather than in the palette. And then you get sort of the components of the color that you're going for. Anyway, this book is really inspiring to me. And Julie, who is, hi Julie, who is an artist, suggested, you know, when I was talking about, you know, sort of my issues with not being able to do things. And see, this, he talks about how he builds these interesting color palettes. Anyway, Julie's suggestion was, to get over my hump on my painting, was that she had the same thing, and she had gone back through her phone and just started at the beginning of the pictures on her phone and sketched a picture every day and just built her skills and just, you know, it got over the hump of what do I paint today. That answered the question. This is what I'm going to paint today. I'm painting picture number 3 or 4 or whatever. Most of my pictures are people that are on my phone. I have gone back through some of my pictures that I took on my trips to kind of do that. I'm not a very good photographer, and so and I certainly didn't take any of these pictures with an eye towards painting something later, because whoever thought I would do that. But anyway, there are a couple of pictures of his in here where he starts at the sketch. And so they're not from his book, but they are an actual lesson. Like here. He's actually showing you his drawing and then what he did next and next and next. This is a boat. And there are several of these. Oh, he calls them demonstrations. This is a pretty one. Maybe I'll do this one too. Here's the final picture. But anyway, he's got several demonstrations in here. So that's 2. Oh, fun. There's 3. This is the guy walking in front of that house I showed you. 4. That was a person. And 5. It looks like 5 of these. And anyway, I've decided I'm going to go through this book and try to recreate his pictures in his style and see what I can do with that. See if I like that. But, you know, like I said yesterday, it's probably me still trying to run before I walk, but I have this, and then I have a sketchbook of sketches of the masters where I can practice sketching. And so I need to start doing that, and I think I'll feel better if I do. So that's my plan. So anyway, so yesterday turned out to be a good day. Getting the work done really helped, made a difference. And so I watched a little TV and knitted, and then when I was tired of knitting, I turned the TV off and I read my book. Now I'm in the middle, not the middle, I'm at the 1/3 point after skipping a whole lot of the Count of Monte Cristo. As you know, I love me a revenge story. Well, the Count of Monte Cristo is the ultimate revenge story. I mean, it is the pinnacle of revenge. And I've read it before. So I skipped the part in the beginning that makes me so sad when he gets thrown into the prison. So I pick it up after he's in the prison and meeting the Abbey. And then I go from there. But I'm still only the 1/3 of the way. He's in Rome now. Albert's just about to meet him. So I have a lot of reading that I could be doing, and I probably will be reading today because obviously I don't have too much ambition since I didn't get out of bed till 10:30. So I'm going to be reading my watercolor secrets. I'm going to be, oh, the sun is coming out. Oh, hi. Reading my Count of Monte Cristo, and maybe doing a little watercolors, but I do have to clear the table. Dennis is making chicken a la Thomas Keller. Thomas Keller is a very famous chef. He is the chef owner of the French Laundry, which has been in the news since COVID times because it is I think they said it's the most expensive restaurant in the United States. It's out in the middle of the Napa Valley, not far from San Francisco. Thomas Keller is a famous chef. And that was where, on 2 different occasions, Gavin Newsom and London, whatever her name is, the mayor of San Francisco, Gavin Newsom is the governor of California, during lockdown when nobody was supposed to be gathering, well, Newsom was, when nobody was supposed to be gathering at all, was at a indoor, at a birthday party at the French Laundry with no mask on back when you weren't allowed to have 10 people in the same room. So that didn't go well, and that kind of hypocrisy, I think, was a little bit the impetus for the recall election they just held to try to recall him. People were really pissed about that. And the mayor of San Francisco was at another event there. But anyway, so the French Laundry has been in the news in the United States in the last 1.5 years because of that. But it's a very famous place. It's on my bucket list to eat there at some time if possible. But I don't even know if you can even get reservations. And I don't, and is it worth it? Who knows? Probably, when you're not rich. And when you're rich, of course, what's the difference? But Thomas Keller, this is a really long rendition of a story to tell you about the chicken that's in my fridge. Thomas Keller also has a few restaurants called Bouchon, one of which is in the Venetian Hotel Casino in Las Vegas. And the Venetian is Dennis's preferred casino hotel in Las Vegas when we go, which we haven't done in quite some time since I've stopped playing so much poker. But I used to play poker, and we used to go to Vegas, and I would play poker, and he would sit around, lounge around in the luxury of the Venetian and read. I mean, you know, we could be there 2 or 3 days with me playing poker 12 hours a day and him not putting a quarter in a machine. He's not a gambler. And he didn't play poker much. I mean, little, but not much. But Bouchon was our favorite restaurant when we were there. And so we kind of fell in love with Thomas Keller's food because we were in the Venetian. And so we have several of his cookbooks that he has written. And so Dennis is making roast chicken using Thomas Keller's recipe. And I'm not sure that he got it out of one of his books. He might have found a YouTube video of Thomas Keller doing roasted chicken. You could look it up. But anyway, so these two organic chickens, have been sitting in the open air of our refrigerator for 3 days. And now Thomas Keller says you should put a fan on it so that it blows it, you know, so you're getting it really, really dry on the outside of the skin. You could, not baste it, you know, where you put it in the salty water, brine it. To brine it, and then you put ghee on top and salt and roast it, and I don't know what happens after that. This is a really long explanation for why I have to clear the table, because we're having this roasted chicken for dinner tonight. And it feels like you should sit down, you know, properly and eat it. If the chickens have been in there for 3 days, it feels like an event. I do get the irony of me talking yesterday about how I don't have anything to talk about. And I did that at minute like 25 or something. Just because I don't have anything to talk about doesn't mean I can't talk, apparently. So anyway, I'm going to give myself the day because, heck, I slept till 10:30, so obviously I want the day. I'm going to read my new book. I'm going to help the Count of Monte Cristo get his revenge. Or observe. And I'm going to have roasted chicken for dinner, a la Thomas Keller. Maybe I'll work on my painting a little bit before I clear it up. But I have to clear the table. So my job today is to clear the table. I think that's it. I'm not going to assign myself anything else. And I've been going on, and since I stopped the video, I don't even know how long it is. Probably way too long. Thank you so much for your encouragement. I cannot tell you what it means to me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please be careful. Please, please take good care of yourselves. Please stay safe and stay sane.